This is Renee Romeo, and welcome to my newly organized sewing room. I've been working on this space for years, and I finally got it just right, and I'd like to share all of my organizing tips with you. Finny might join along and join in the fun, and I'll go ahead and show you exactly where I've put things right at my fingertips and be visually pleasing at the same time. Let's start just inside the entrance door. Now I have all of my gift wrap available, ready to go, ready to see. They're all contained in these little organizers from IKEA, and actually these are made for the plastic bags that you get from the grocery store. But as you can see, you can fit about 8 rolls of gift wrap in each one, and I have 3, and they attach to the wall directly behind the plastic, and they've got a little bottom to it, so they're really great for organizing all your gift wrap. Get them out from underneath your bed. Now, something that's a must is a place to put all of your large pieces that you're working on. And I have an old valance here that I need to get to eventually, but until then, I'm going to go ahead and leave it behind the door. So next to that, I have a great corner organizer, and inside this are all the ribbons and trims that I use in sewing. And so I have this right at my fingertips, ready to go. I know exactly where it is. And then next to that, I have a space for some of my rolls of fabric. This is really important too, because you need to have a place to stack this stuff without it falling all over the place. Now I've got this nice little area here. It kind of keeps it contained without building some kind of crazy organizer. This keeps it really nice and neat. Next to that, I have my wall chart of all window treatments, bedspreads, pillows, all different styles for that. And so what this does is while I'm sitting at my sewing machine, I can glance up and kind of get an idea for more creative ways to put some things together. And it really keeps me on my toes when I'm going ahead and starting a project. I might look up at the chart and find something that I wouldn't ordinarily have thought of, and then I can incorporate that into my very next project. Now, continuing around the room, you'll see behind me is the thread organizer that I have highlighted, my arts and crafts category, and you can follow along and make this project for yourself. And the great thing about this is it's right above my sewing station. I can glance up and look at the thread and see the very next color that I need to choose. There's no more fumbling through a little sewing kit trying to find just the right color, and you'll know what I mean if you have that situation in your house. So go and build one of these. This is my favorite project of anything that I've done in this space. So beyond that, I have my 3 machines, and I have only 1 chair, and I think that that's really key, because if you have more than 1 chair in your space, you're going to be kind of tripping over it from time to time. So mine's on rollers. This is exactly what I like. It's got a nice cushion on it, and it's very comfortable to sit in for hours at a time. So you should really consider the chair that you're sitting on while you're doing your sewing projects. Now, the next thing you need, an absolute must in any creative space, is a sketchbook. And so I have my sketchbook chock full of drawings and clippings that I can go ahead and refer to as I'm doing a project. In case I'm getting stuck, I can look back through here and get a great idea, and it'll make that project go quicker for me. So this is an absolute must for your space, and I always keep it handy right nearby my sewing machines. So I have my music, I have a nice space that I've created here for rolls of fabric, another one, because I do have a lot of fabric that I like to store. And in here, what I like to have are things like lining and batting, just basics, so that way if you're in the middle of a project, you don't have to run to the fabric store in case you start running out. It's right there for you. So that's a great tip, is just to keep extra things on hand. The other thing that I have is an idea board, and so this is a bulletin board that I use. If I have clippings that I'd like to kind of keep up all the time and kind of get an idea from that, I can put it up there. I've got little pieces of embellishments that if I'm working on a project, I can look at it and see if I can incorporate that somehow. So these are things that are easy to forget if they're stuffed away in a closet somewhere in a container. I like to keep them out so I can look at them and see them all the time. So I have a little ironing board out all the time. And the reason why this is so that I can just grab it on the fly in case I need to touch something up very quick. I can grab it and go. And so the next thing I have a little ticket holder from our old restaurants, and it's wonderful for keeping up little pieces of paper. It might be drawings, might be the project you're working on, it might be a pattern, jacket that you can just stick up in there, and it's right there at your fingertips. So I've kind of got things like, you know, locations of fabric stores. I have little measuring tools that I kind of shove up in there, and it's a great way to keep things organized so you're not fumbling all over your work surface looking for paperwork. So the next thing to consider is making a space for a large chalkboard. Now the reason for this is because although you have a sketchbook, sometimes it's really nice to sketch things out to scale. And if you have a giant space like this, that's completely possible. You can stand back and look at it and really get a better visual on your project. So the wonderful thing about this space, my space is not all that big, but I do have a rolling work surface. And so you can kind of see here, this is the space that I use to cut out patterns. Sometimes I iron on it, I draw on it, I do all kinds of projects on this workspace. It's a little rickety right now, so that's a future project to create a new work table, but you can tune back in for that one. So this is the space that you'll see most of when I'm doing projects. I've created it as a backdrop for my projects, but really it's very, very functional. I have my irons here, I have my patterns, I have a lot of storage capability in this little storage unit, and it only consists of some, you know, basic shelving, and I have some kitchen cabinets here that I've gone ahead and finished, and inside I have things like scrapbooks, I have mailing materials, I have all kinds of gift wrap items like bows for Christmas. And then you'll see what I've done here is I have tissue paper. I made this wonderful gift wrap ribbon station that I can take a gift, I can put it right on the counter, and I can pull my ribbon off and wrap the gift very efficiently. So this really is beautiful and functional at the same time, and so there's no reason why your sewing room can't also be pretty. I've taken the opportunity to get a shoe organizer for the back of my closet door, and on here I store all of my tassels, again, ready to go. I can look at all of them and see that they're there. And then this great little window treatment is, it's actually a little mock-up of a different kind of headings that you can put on window treatments, and I can just look at that and refer to that whenever we're literally underneath the stairs now. This is a closet, and what I store in here are art supplies, little scrap pieces of fabric, containers, small appliances such as my steamer and my dress form. I also have a great ironing board and all of my measuring tools that are really long and hard to store. I just go ahead and nail them up and store them right at my fingertips. Lastly, let's not forget about our lighting and our floors. So on my floor I have matting. It's a rubber matting that's normally used in a workout space, but I put it in here because underneath this is concrete and I stand for many hours, and you just don't want that kind of pressure on your legs all day. So that's a great tip for working in a space like this. The other thing, the lighting, I have fluorescent lighting, I have incandescent lighting, and then I have some lighting that flood out the corners, and it's great because when I'm working on little small projects, I'm assured I'll have the ability to see little details. So that's a great tip. Beyond that, this is the space, and I am so happy and thrilled to have done this. I've been wanting this for many, many years. I'm sure some of you have too, and it sure beats rummaging through a little sewing kit that you're keeping in the back of your closet somewhere. This is a space that you can make as messy as you want and then close the door and have it all go away and then come back the next day without having to clean up in between. And that's really, really essential for today's lifestyle. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and until then, we'll see this in the background from now on. So I'm really excited to bring it to you. This is Renee Romeo. Thank you so much for watching.